welcome to this week's video. Now, coming up in this week's video, a bit of rock and roll for good measure. We make ourselves laugh by playing more together than we imagine we can. And a strange rhythmic happening that just happened out of nowhere. And finally some nice dire straits.
Juliet, when you made love you used to cry. You said I love you like the stars above.
So in this week's video I want to discuss about rehearsing, about whether bands rehearse, to kind of dispel a myth, and also I can use this video to point people towards when I end up in a situation that I've ended up in before and had to try and explain myself. But if I make this video I can just say, come watch that video, then I won't have to explain. So what prompted this video was a recording of one of the last gigs I did. If I'm using my desk I can just hit a button, I can multi-track record the gig, and I do this quite frequently because it's a very good tool for learning and for reference, for future reference, see where I've gone wrong. I find it particularly useful for vocals. If there's something I'm struggling singing I can hear where I've gone wrong when I listen back to it. So anyway, I played it to the band and they both came back going, oh, this bit was good, listen to that, how did we manage to do that? And we surprise ourselves sometimes, and I'm thinking people probably think we've rehearsed that for absolutely ages, whereas of course we haven't, we're just doing it on the fly, which made me think about all these situations where I've been asked how often we rehearse. So quite often we're playing in bars or something and someone will come and go, God, you guys are really tight, how often do you rehearse? And we go, oh, well, we don't. And they think we're lying, they think we're just being cocky, but we don't. If we're doing a cover gig, professional musicians don't need to rehearse cover gigs. We've got a set canon of material that we all know and we don't have to rehearse. So I could get a different bass player to come into the band and largely, we might have to not do all of the songs, but largely we'd be able to put together a set of material that everyone knows without having to rehearse. I always liken it to, say, if you get someone who's going to come around and fit your kitchen, they're professionals. They come into a different kitchen each time to fit it, but they know how to do it because they do it all day, every day. They're not going to go and rehearse at the weekend, fitting a kitchen just to practice for when they do it during the weekday. It's the same as us musicians. We're playing all the time. We know how these things work. Just because we're playing at a different place doesn't mean we can't do it without practice. But something else has happened in this respect, which is why I'm thinking I can use this video to point people towards. I occasionally get asked a message, say, by a local band who are playing in a pub or a club, and they say, our guitarist isn't well or can't do this gig, are you able to stand in? And if I'm available, well, I will always do it because I like playing whatever. And I'll say, yes, that's fine. It's never that well paid, but I do it because I enjoy doing it. And then they go, oh, well, there's going to be about 3 rehearsals beforehand, at which point I go, no, don't worry, I won't need to rehearse, just send me a list of the songs and I'll make sure I learn them all. Oh, no, you have to come and rehearse. And in fact, one person once said to me, got quite annoyed with me and went, well, we always rehearse, we like to be prepared, we don't want to turn up unprepared. And made me feel like I was kind of in the wrong. And I thought, well, I turn up with bands, scratch bands, like just last week I played in a band, there were 2 people in the band I never met before. Nobody would have known. It sounded great. So now I'm going to show you this first clip. Now this is with my regular band, and I'm going to put a little caveat in here. We do rehearse if we're doing original material, or if we say there's a specific show or something like that, something different that we've never done before. We will rehearse for that. But when we're turning up and doing gigs each and every week, we don't need to rehearse because we play this stuff all the time. But I do put new songs in the set. But we still don't need to rehearse those. So what I will do, I will write out a chord chart. So I'll show you this chord chart I wrote out for this. I've been learning the Danny Gatton Sun medley, which is I haven't done it verbatim, but I do Mystery Train into That's All Right Mama. And so I worked out my own arrangement for it, simplified it to try and make it a bit easier, and I sent the chord chart to Bo, the bass player. And we turned up and we did it on the gig. I sent the recording as well to Sam, the drummer. We did it on the gig, having never rehearsed it, and Bo and Sam absolutely nailed it, got it perfect. I didn't. It is quite difficult, but I'm working on it. But I'm going to show you a clip of this. So this is Mystery Train and a bit of All Right Mama.
When I dug my baby, and it never will again.
can hear drums and bass absolutely spot on, and they'd never ever played it before. They just heard the recording and had the chart that I'd sent. So I'm just going to butt in here and just mention that I've got a library of video guitar lessons online. Beginning country guitar one, the newest one I've put up there is all about doing left hand damping, but I've got lots of other solos. I've got show you how to play the end solo from Sultans of Swing, a solo from Hotel California. I've got some Nile Rodgers funk stuff, various other stuff. There's some monthly subscriptions or some of the lessons you can buy separately, so go and check them out. They're on my website, iamtjwalker.com, and at the top of the page there's a little tab that says guitar lessons. Moving on from that, the last gig I did, the one that prompted this, it was with a different bass player called Tom, who I've known for a long time. We have played together a lot, but haven't played with him for a while. And we were doing some songs that we have played before, and I'm not sure we definitely haven't done what we did before on these couple of clips I'm going to show you, but because we're listening to each other and, you know, we're used to playing together and we're used to some kind of musical conventions, these things kind of work. So this first one I'm going to show you, this is Kiss by Prince, and there's a bit in the middle I do a kind of guitar bit which isn't on the record and leave gaps. It developed with another band, this bit, and gradually I've done it, and Sam the drummer's picked up on it, and I think this is the first time we've all managed to do it at the same time. Tom must have picked up on it over the last couple of gigs. And so we do this thing and we leave gaps, and then we come in really tight, and it was so tight when we came in that we both looked at each other and laughed, as you'll see on the video, because we're like, oh, didn't think it would be that tight. Anyway, here we go. And then this is the next clip. This is the one that kind of prompted this whole thing. We did this thing which apparently is called polyrhythms, which I didn't even know that. I didn't even know I could play a polyrhythm, but that's apparently what I'm doing on this. So we're playing different rhythms over the straight four, and it's in a bass solo, and we're, you know, I'll always be listening to what the bass is doing on the solos, and then I'll always join in if there's a kind of recurring motif going on, because it gives it a bit of kind of shape and makes it sound like we've rehearsed. But this one, we all together, Tom was accenting this thing and we all followed him and we all did it together, and again it made us laugh because we were like, oh, that was clever, how did that happen? So I'm going to show you this little clip. Tom Cheek on the bass here. One other story that's just occurred to me. I remember once standing in for a band, very first time I'd ever played with them. I'd never met any of them before, and I turned up and there was a guy that regularly watched the band, and he went up to the band leader in the set and said, oh, you know, like your new guitarist, how's that working out? You know, how long has he been playing with you? And they said, oh, we've only just met him. So I'm like, what? You're taking the mickey? They wouldn't believe him. They couldn't believe that I'd only just come in, and you know, it was stuff I'd played lots of times before, but they were kind of, how can this person be playing with a band that he's never heard before, and it sounds like they've practiced? But that's why it is. That's what this video is all about. So I'm going to leave you with this. Now, we have played this several times, but again, we never rehearsed it. I wrote out a chord chart, and we played it a few times. Tom, the bass player, doesn't need the chord chart because he's done it enough times to have memorised it. Same with me. I used to have the words and everything, but I don't need them anymore. So here we go. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with the full track. It's quite long, but I quite enjoyed it. I'll probably do a standalone video of this as well. This is Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits. When I was listening to it, I was thinking, oh, I think this actually sounds quite good. I'm thinking to myself, I'm beginning to get the hang of doing this. So I'm going to play this because I quite enjoyed it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I bring out new videos at 7 PM UK time every Friday. Leave me a comment, hit like, hit subscribe if you like, and I hope to see you next week.
Love struck a Romeo, sung the streets a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Finds us, oh, something we said, lifted up the shade, said something like, you and me, babe, how about it? Juliet says, it's Romeo, you nearly give me heart attack. She's underneath the window singing, hey now my boyfriend's back. Shouldn't come around here singing up on people like that. Anyway, what you gonna do about it? Juliet, the dice was loaded from the start, and I bet that you exploded into my heart. There's a place for us. Oh, you know the movie song. When you gonna realize it was just the time was wrong? Juliet. Come up on different streets, both were streets of shame, both dirty, both mean. Yes, and the dream was just the same. I dream for you, and now your dream is real. How can you look at me as if I was just another one of your deals? You can fall for chains of silver, or you can fall for chains of gold. You can fall for pretty strangers, the promises they hold. You promised me everything, you promised me thick and thin. Now you just say, oh yeah, Romeo, you know we used to have a scene with him. Juliet, when we made love you used to cry. You said I love you like the stars above, I love you till I die. There's a place for us. Oh, you know the movie song. When you gonna realize it was just the time was wrong? Juliet. I can't do the talk like the talk on the TV. Can't do a love song like the way it's meant to be. I can't do anything, but I do anything for you. Can't do anything except be in love with you. All I did was miss you and the bars of a rhyme. That be the deep anytime. And all I did was miss you through the bars of a rhyme. Juliet, I do the stars with you anytime. Juliet, when we made love you used to cry. You said I love you like the stars above, I love you till I die. There's a place for us. Oh, you know the movie song. When you're gonna realize it was just the time was wrong? Juliet. Love struck Romeo, sung the streets a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Finds convenient streetlight and steps out of the shade, says something like, you and me, babe, how about it? You and me, babe, how about it? How about it now? We're going to keep it nice and gentle just for now. This is Tom on the bass. He's going to start this one.